When you can do anything, like what you choose not to do is far more important than doing everything much faster, much more often.
I think the danger with AI and a lot of these kind of workflows where you just go build something, you're always gonna succeed. Like it never can fail because you never set any kind of criteria to anything. You just said, how do you know like you're building the right things?
I think Linear finds itself, like many other products and companies right now, in this kind of advent of AI and how it's changing how we build software. We're not just making, luxury issue tracking anymore. Like we're changing workflows, we're challenging existing patterns and primitives. We are inventing, and that's, I think, what I love most about being a designer. When I was interviewing at Linear and then when I decided to come, I was intimidated. This is like one of the best design teams in the world and the craft is through the roof. And I'm like, will I meet the craft bar? But the assurance I was given was, I'm bringing a different skill set that's going to be super relevant and helpful to Linear, and it's more in that beginning part of the process.
If now you can build things with AI like a lot faster, like the timelines go from weeks to days or hours or minutes, where in the past people put a lot of effort into the planning and prioritization because the engineering resources were constrained. So I do think like the AI is encouraging people too much to kind of not think about the problem and just jump to the solution. It has affected people in a way that they are stopping the search and they kind of see this power of like, I can just build the thing right away. The one thing I always do still tell people is please like explore the ideas more freely. Like in the beginning at least, like try to think what are all the ways this could be done. The way I do it is I do it in Figma. I have some kind of idea and I try to like pull up some context. I try to look at like, what are the customers saying about this? What are the problems? I try to ask the agent to explain to me like what are the underlying needs. And then sometimes I like reverse that like why we shouldn't do this. To me, like design is kind of like the planning stage, and then the code is to the kind of like the implementation stage. But I actually think there's the other option where you could start going backwards towards more something conceptual or something business or something where now your job is more about understanding the customer again. And like, I mean, if code is mostly written by agents, like what is your benefit exactly there? I feel like everyone assumes the default direction is designers will just code more or like go building more. I think there's more potentially value you could add on the thinking level, which I think like the best designers can do that. They can produce some kind of clarity in problems that are not clear. That's my hope, that like the designers could like more influence the company's direction versus like, well, just write the code. I just don't feel that the exact need of why designers should be coding, at least all the time. I think with any new tool or workflow, everyone should ask themselves is like, how is this making the work better? Like, is the work actually better or is it just a different way of doing the work?
The first time you like use AI to like merge a PR and you can see your thing live in the product is like, it's addicting, but like, is that really where we should be spending a lot of our time? I still feel that same gravitational pull to be more in discovery and problem definition. And like, I see it more as a thought partner to me. Like I actually give it specific instructions. You're not here to give me the answer unless you're 100% sure you know what the answer is. When you build something for me or when you guide me through something, like talk to me in designer language and teach me these concepts. Like I don't just want to use you to build something, and that to me doesn't change the process, it just kind of speeds it up.
I think I had a period of time a few months ago where I felt like I should be adopting AI into my workflows in a way where it felt really deeply present. And I tried that for a little bit, but I found that I really not only didn't enjoy it on a personal level, and I think it changed part of my relationship to my actual work. I didn't find that integrating more of it made my team move any faster than integrating it in more targeted and precise ways. It's really, I guess, what industry would call like negotiating the challenge of slop. I think the nice thing about AI is it's democratized, entry and access, and that means everyone can feel more ownership over the product. And with that, I feel like there's actually an invitation to slowness and to think about what your product ownership looks like. Like, now that you can do this, how do you do it in a way that is thoughtful, methodical, and leaves a footprint that feels uniquely you? Really, the best way for me to be creative is to preserve a sense of joy in my work. A lot of AI and the way that the workflow works today doesn't work naturally with that. It's chat-based. It transforms people who wanted to maybe be ICs into being pseudo managers. I think it also forces a language of thinking that is not, for me, supernatural to product design, because it makes me verbalize all of my instincts and my thoughts and my intuition in a way that is actually stalling for me. Like, where I am doing my best design work is when I can enter a place of prolonged contact with the work that I'm looking at. And that language for me is visual because it's subconscious almost. And so I don't use AI for any evaluation of my designs. I don't use it for content assistance either. So where I do use it is really work where there is dynamic input and data that I need legitimate feedback from that I can't capture in static mocks and Figma. And then the other is really for small visual changes where I feel like the act of asking for permission is far more frustrating than the act of asking an engineer to review the change that I've made.
First project I worked on at Linear, Karri asked me to kind of take over the early stages of a redesign project. So kind of refreshing the UI, addressing some kind of core foundational UX problems that he identified. And during all this, I'm just, synthesizing, taking notes, kind of interrogating him, trying to really understand his intent and his vision. But I also wanted to kind of put myself in the shoes of customers as well as other employees who had worked on these things for a long time. And so a great use case for the agent for me was just coming in here and asking who's worked on this piece of the UI in the past, right? What designers and engineers worked on the main navigation. So this is a great, immediate use case, especially for a new employee onboarding to a team. It's rather than me blasting Slack, hey, who's worked on this thing? I can get some of that context a lot quicker. I can maybe even get access to intentions behind decisions before I'm even bugging some of these people intentionally. Looking through and combing through all the existing customer requests that we have that are in the system, but I can just come in here and I can ask it and prompt it, hey, bring me all of the relevant customer requests, synthesize those into key insights, put it together into a document. And now that document kind of lives in this project as critical context for me to reference, but also for the agent to reference as I'm jamming with the agent in the future. I'm kind of starting to see Linear as this almost Russian doll of context containers. This is now becoming this system of record of decision making and capturing those key insights that are going to guide decision making. And all of that context acts as instructions that the agent has immediate access to. You can kind of maintain this flow state, especially as you're kind of jumping between agent session to agent session or project to project. Once we got towards the tail end of that redesign project and it was all about getting that final polish in place, we punted on updating color for the longest time because we're let's get all the pieces to fit and feel right, and then we'll kind of come back to color. And one of the things that we used Claude Code to build was this kind of internal, another entry point to a tool down in this bottom bar, which is just a theme editor to quickly change contrast values, to change, if you want to just go crazy and change the background color of this thing.
Heck yeah.
Change,
Upsell.
Yeah, I mean, this was literally one-shotted in a day, and I feel I'm finding a lot more use in building bespoke tools based on the individual need of an individual specific project.
Designers have been asking the seat at the table, and I think to some degree designers have gotten the seat, but the seat was kind of not that big because it was just the pixels, but it wasn't really about managing the direction of the company. So that's my hope, that the designers could more influence the company's direction versus just write the code.
To me, there's many reasons why Linear has this reputation of craft. It's obviously a very talented design team, an incredibly talented engineering team. Like, I think we have an incredible internal culture of, at its foundation, people who really all value building something that we're proud of.